Hey Inky friends, it's Bailey from the fountainpeninkstation. I hope everybody is doing well wherever you're at, day or night. I just wanted to come on real quick and let you know how the pen show went, the Chicago Pen Show. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of this already, but Atlas Stationery's made a nice bag. Don't mind the cat hair. It's actually really nice. There's like a pocket on the inside and there's a zipper. Of course, my bag was so full I never got to zip it up, but I'm definitely holding on to this. Looks like Esterbrook made it, but sponsored by Atlas Stationers. So thank you for that. And then I just wanted to thank everybody who stopped to say hi. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't mind the stuff in the background. Still unpacking from our trip. So we were just there on Friday, and I was there from right at 7 a.m. I think, until I crashed around 6 p.m. It was really great. I had my rollator. People were so kind and so helpful. They actually had security guards set up this year to help direct where people needed to go and the traffic. And there was a couple of them who went out of their way to help me and other individuals with accessibility needs, including those who had strollers. It was actually really great to see more people out at the show with accessibility needs. I don't remember that many last year, so keep coming, keep showing up. These pen shows are not meant to disbar anybody. The people at the pen show are the most amazing people you'll find and meet in this hobby. So keep showing up. And I hope the pen shows keep listening to the patrons, the customers, about what our needs are to make the pen show the most successful. Some improvements I think that could be done is, it would be nice if there was, and this is just a nitpick, an allergy-friendly option. They served pizzas. They served pizza the last few years, but as somebody with a lactose intolerance and celiac issue, and I haven't been able to enjoy it. So that's just a nitpick. Something they can improve upon if they wanted to. Technically, it's a free pizza party, but actually, as a weekend pass holder, you're paying for that in addition to the other benefits. The other thing was the elevators were really incredibly slow, and there happened to be like a tournament or something in town, and there was people riding the elevator up and down, including a group of kids, and I was just, I had to wait for the elevator I think 4 times. These kids kept coming up and down, up and down. I don't know if they were just riding the elevator or what, but that was a little bit of a nuisance. I have heard through the grapevine that next year's show will be at a different hotel and the elevators will be faster. I'm not familiar with that hotel. I've heard it's the Westin. So hopefully we'll get more information on that coming out officially in the next few months. I will be booking my hotel earlier this year and getting a room at the hotel show for next year. Sorry if I misspoke. For 2027. Only because not having my hotel room at the same hotel as the show was extremely exhausting. So for 2027, I am going to book earlier, and that way I could take breaks midday. I have a friend, Kelly, who does that with their child. I don't know how often she goes with someone else, but they take midday breaks, and I kind of equate it to like a Disney World rope drop where you do a little bit in the morning and then you take a break and then you come back in the park in the afternoon, which is one of the benefits of staying at the Disney parks if you're a Disney fan. Next year for sure I'm going to stay at the hotel. As somebody with a lot of chronic illnesses, that was a mishap on my part. I have heard people that got hotel rooms last minute, but I think those were king size beds, and we needed the 2 beds for the whole family. I'm trying to think what else. The lighting would be really nice if the lighting improved. I don't know if they can help that though. It's on the hotel's end, and in a hotel you can only get so much input. So it's just something that would be nice to see improved. As far as Friday, the traffic actually wasn't terrible. I had no issues getting my rollator in and out of the aisles. I was in the ballroom taking my sweet times. Probably 3 or 4 hours it took me. It took me a while to get through the ballroom with my rollator, and I kept getting dizzy and having to sit down. And my friends would be like, "Oh, I thought you would have been downstairs already." I'm like, "Nope, just going at my own pace here." Like, it kind of sucks sometimes, but I got to talk to some new vendors, and I'll when I flip the camera around and talk more, I'll tell you a little bit about those. But I didn't get to do that last year, so I was really excited to take my time and actually talk to the vendors and look at what they were selling and get to know them a little bit. And I have to give a props out to Brendan over at Atlas. He also goes by Hollywood. He kept checking on me several times when I was over there, so thank you for that. Again, the pen community is probably the best community that you could ever come into. And if you're into this hobby, I highly recommend trying to get to a pen show. The Well-Appointed Desk has a list of pen shows on their website, and I'm sure there's probably others, but that's the one I usually check out. And if you're kind of nervous about going to a bigger pen show, then there's plenty of other small pen shows. The Colorado Pen Show, that's in October. There's a St. Louis Pen Show, which is a little bit smaller than Chicago. The Arkansas one, I think that's in March. Friends, if you could think of others, just put them down in the comments. I even think Detroit is a little bit smaller. So don't ever feel like you can't go to one. And if you're intimidated by the large shows, try a smaller one first. And again, as I said in my last video, find a buddy who will go with you. I've met some incredible friends and lasting friendships because of even just going last year was my first time pen show. I found other people whose first time pen shows, and we kind of just connected, and we're still connected, and we talk on a regular basis. So you'll find friends no matter what your situation is or what you're going into. You'll find somebody who's like me who will just go up to you and say, "Hey, how are you?" And then, "What's your name?" And then just kind of like talk to you, and you'll find somebody. I'll be at the pen show next year, 2027. I don't know yet if I'm going to the Colorado Pen Show. I have a couple friends who I'd really love to see. Kristen Creates, Wendy Sue, my friend my lovely dear friend Jessica, and I have a friend Alana that lives in that area now. I'd like to see her and maybe see if she's interested in seeing what this pen show is about. So we'll see. To be determined. Let me flip you guys around and show you what I got. I still think I'm going to break this up into 2 parts, so let's get swatching. Well, actually, let's flip this camera around. Let's get looking at what I got at the pen show, because I don't think I'm going to swatch in this video. So I'll see you in a second, friends. I hope everybody is doing well wherever you're at, day or night. This might be a longer video, so maybe grab a drink. I got my coffee, my oat milk latte. So I went to the Chicago Pen Show on Friday, and I had so much fun with my friends. And of course, I went shopping. I want to kind of just show you what I got and talk a little bit about the pen show. If we have time, I will do some swatching. So, friends, let's get going. I'm going to see if I can clear this desk off. I'll be back here in a minute, okay? Okay, I tried to clear off as much room as I could. I'm running so low on space. So, let's get started with the stuff. I'm sure you've seen others' videos by now. The Atlas Stationers made a really nice canvas bag. I'll throw a picture in this screen. I really don't want to have to go back out and try to find it. So in that bag, we got our badge. It was a standard badge. And I ended up moving it to my pink pony lanyard. Hey, I did remember it. And then it came with a notebook. Some got little field notes. I ended up getting this notebook, and I did a little test on it. It's beach paper. It handles smaller pens fine, but there was some feathering on the long, like the wider nibs. So all in all, not bad. Let me see if I can just kind of move this a little bit. All right. So yeah, all in all, not bad. It is a textured paper, so I struggle with that a little bit. So I don't know how much I'll reach for this. So that's one of the freebies. And then I got some stickers at Well Appointed Desk. These are the Return to Shire stickers. These stood out to me at last minute. I actually went to her table to get the Gamify Your Life Player's Handbook. You can also buy it online, and she has been doing classes at shows as well. I was only at the pen show Friday, so I didn't have any time to take classes, and I didn't want to spend time away from my friends and the vendors since I had a very limited time. So that's what I got from Well Appointed Desk. And then at Pen Realm's table, I ended up getting more blotter paper. And then I also got a Kaweco broad nib. And do you think I know where I set that down? Ah, here it is. To replace that scratchy medium nib I have. So that's what I got from Well Appointed Desk. I also got, I thought I got something else. If I remember as I'm going through, I'll pivot back, but I think this is what I got from the Well Appointed Desk. Not Well Appointed Desk. This is what I got from Pen Realm. I did not get any nib grinds this time, friends. Okay, so the next table I went to, I also stopped at the Tatcha table, and they're amazing vendors there. I think Claire is the one who helped me today, or on that day. And I went because I wanted to get this Tatcha ink, which is Kajizumi. It's a black-gray ink, but I got it because of the box. And, I mean, I can't be the only one who gets ink bottles for the packaging, right? Right? I mean, I just couldn't help it. I've been eyeing this one for a while, so if I have time, I'll swatch that. If not, I'll do it in a separate video. So that's what I got from Tatcha. And then I was able to stop downstairs at Kaleidocraft, and I picked up the Airmail pencil board. And then I also got a nib holder, and I just went with a standard, like a tealish plain one. She had some really cool marbleized ones as well, so I think those are new. I don't know, recently she started doing those. And then I was able to get, I think it came with this actually. It was for Chicago. It's another nib holder. But look how cute this little charm is. I like to 3D print, and I just always in awe of how much she can do with her 3D printer. I just don't have that time or talent or patience. So that's Kaleidocraft. And then I think these are just extra, maybe adapters or something of that sort. I'm going to put it back in here because I know I will lose it. So that's what I got at Kaleidocraft. And then I also got a bunch of stickers. I have to remember what I got. Oh, okay, so I also stopped to talk to a lovely antique vintage pen dealer. His name was Rich, and I can't remember which, he didn't have a table name. His name was just Rich, and he was selling his vintage pencils and pens. I picked up some vintage lead for my Parker pencil. So thank you, Rich. I know you probably don't watch YouTube or videos like you said, but I do appreciate this because I've been looking for vintage lead, and I forgot last year when I came to the show to look for it. Let's see. I'm going to try to find the ones that I actually paid for or got. This came from the Kaleidocraft table. I'm going to throw all my freebie stickers down here. And then I got, that's what I got. At the Pen Realm table, I also got some stickers. Oops, trash. So I picked up these 3. I think it was just these 3. I wanted to get another Corolla sticker because I had one and I don't know whatever I did with it. And then she couldn't remember off the top of her head who did this artwork. So if you know off the top of your head, could you let me know down in the comments? I would love to know. I have so many free stickers. I'm trying to remember which ones I actually... Oh, and then from Amarillo. Move these out of the way. I got another one too. I'm trying to... Was it just these 2? I already had a few of his stickers, so... I just got a couple that it didn't have yet. And then I also got his Monarca Nopal. It's one I've been wanting to try. So that's awesome. Check out his shop. He's got some really cool stickers in stock. I'm not sure what next pen show he's going to be doing. He has been doing them back to back, and I'm sure Eric is probably exhausted by now, but he is a trooper. So thank you, Eric, for the stickers and selling me those, that ink. And then let's go to Stationery Universe. I actually picked up a couple bottles of these. I'm going to give one to a friend who had asked me to look for it. This is the First Blossom, which went with the pen that they had commissioned with Heinz, which was right next to their table. That was a really pretty pen, but I did not have the budget or the market for another pen. And then I picked up the Bird Washi. I've been wanting to get this. Actually, there was the other one I wanted to get. It was like a yellowish cream. And then I saw this one and I said, no, actually I want that one. So pretty. And then I just got more Happy Mail Stationery washi. I like to put this on my stickers, or not on my stickers, sorry, on my letters to my pen pals. This one's called the Stationery Addict. Excuse me, friend, sorry. I think that was it from her table. Okay, keep moving along. Is it Adolphus's table? Is it Derail's? If I'm wrong, I'll put it down here. But I was looking for antimatter, and it was out of stock everywhere in that pen show. I'd actually found some at the Federalist paper, but the lady in front of me had grabbed it first. So it is what it is. Excuse me. I was gonna get a different blue States line, and that one did not have shimmer, and I really like shimmer, so I ended up getting this. I think this is Arkansas. I remember looking it up before I came on here. But it's a really, really nice. I'll try to swatch it in this video, but really nice shimmer. So I'm excited to actually swatch that. I actually don't think no, there was no swatches at the pen show of that. I looked it up on Mountain of Ink, and I really wanted to get it. At that same vintage dealer for the pencil, I got a empty bottle. You might be thinking, why are you getting an empty bottle? Well, my Vinta inks have been evaporating, and some of those Vinta inks even have the stopper on it. So I'm gonna try to transfer it over here and see if that helps. So that is why. But I got that also from Rich's table, who had the lead. Okay, where do I start? Esterbrook's table, I just picked up the Pigeon Poop. I think this is the New York one. It's the blue leaning one. I think originally when I saw the Pigeon Poop ink, I saw I think it was a blue one, and then somebody swatched the purple one, and I wanted to get this one. So glad to have that. Let's see, and then I went to Papier Plume, and I picked up one of the show inks for a friend, and then I also picked up another bottle of Violet. It's one of my favorite Papier Plume inks, and they reformatted it now to calligraphy, so they're not making any new bottles of the old Violet blend. So every time I see a bottle and I can get it, I'll just grab a bottle to hold on to it. I think 2 or 3 bottles is probably enough for me. And then the other bottle I got was something called Southern Nights. They said it's similar to the Cloud Gate that I picked up, but when they swatched it, it looked a little bit different. So I'm excited to actually see what this looks like on my paper, because they swatch theirs on the coloring and I don't use colorings. Let's see here. And then I went downstairs to grab some Sven's ink, and he had a Chicago Rainy Ripple, which he did an awesome job. He sold out of all of his, and he was always busy when I went down to look. He was doing custom ink sample appointments, so you can sign up and ink mix with him. Again, I was only there on Friday, so I didn't have time to do any of that fun stuff, but I hope he's going to be making more shows, so keep an eye out for his table and sign up with Sven. And then Atlas, I just made one purchase, and it's Wearing Gold Purgatorio. They didn't, at least on Friday, they didn't bring a lot of ink. They had a lot of Ferris Wheel Press, which I'm not a huge fan of Ferris Wheel Press ink, but they had a lot of Ferris Wheel Press ink, and so it was a little disappointing. Hopefully they had brought more on Saturday or Sunday, but they didn't have any, like, Sailor, not a whole lot of Dominant Industry, not a lot of Robert Oster. Actually, the Robert Oster was mostly their show ink, like the Izzy Monster and stuff. So that was a little just disappointing. So hopefully next year they'll bring back more ink. And then the last ink I bought at the show was Anarilium Lunamoth Green. This has been selling out fast, and she had said she had a few on the table, and she's not sure why it sold out so fast. So I had mentioned a few of my friends had been talking about it on their YouTube channels, and maybe that was why. But luckily she had a few in her box that she brought from underneath the table. So I'm excited to finally have a full bottle of this. I have yet to find a green that is very close to this, so I'm glad to have that. And then before I go into the pens, I had a few viewers and a few people that I follow that I was able to say hi to. So the first one is Jane, and I'll link her channel down below. She gave me this lovely pin. She was a little self-conscious about it, said it wasn't very good, but I think it's amazing. So I'll check her down below. She had quite a haul, and it was fun to look at to see what she got. And I believe I had a sticker as well, but my desk is kind of a mess right now. And then I got a bunch of free stickers that I want to tell you about. Mike's Pen Fund is doing some really awesome things at his table. He had some number 8 nibs, and he said he has started to introduce number 9 nibs, but he sold out of them at the pen show. So keep an eye out for what he's doing. Skogsy obviously has amazing pens. Rocky Top is a fun vintage used. I think he's got some new ones too. This came from Well Appointed Desk. This came from the Ozark table. My friend Christy gave me that sticker when she bought a pen at their table. Smrooty Pens has amazing hand-painted pens, and I have a couple on my wish list to look for. Brown Crusher Studios was downstairs. Stationery Universe. I don't know if you can... Here's Mike's Pen Fun. I'll hold it here if you want to screenshot it. And he is local to Minnesota, so that's really awesome for us who are in Minnesota. There's Happy Hour Pen and Gifts. I did not buy anything at their table just because I didn't see anything that caught my eye. Oh, here's her sticker. You can scan her QR code too. Look how fun that is. And then Dime Novel Stationery is a new stationery shop in Duluth, Minnesota, which is really exciting for us who live in very rural areas without, kind of like in a pen ink desert. So check out Casey Sullivan. I'm not sure if they go by they or she, but check them out. They have limited hours, and they have some amazing stuff for being a brand new, I won't say brand new, but for being a new stationery shop, they have some really cool stuff. So definitely check them out. I really liked Atlas Stationery's sticker. It's a little sailboat, and then it has a fountain pen in the inside. I picked up one for my friend. That's just Anarilium's card. And then I can't remember which table. If I remember, I'll put it down here. If you talk to him about Project Hail Mary, he would give you a sticker, so I got to pick a sticker out. And then That's for the Carolina Pen Company, the unicorn. Oh my gosh, I am drawing a blank on her name. His daughter works with him, so I'll put that down below. It's another one from them. And then Artisan Ink, that was a table I hadn't checked out last year. I am going to try to get a pen from him in this next year. They had some really cool designs and some really cool things up and coming. And then I saw Helen from the Coffee Monsters and told her my funny story about my ink taking a trip to Alaska. So she was giving out these stickers to those who said hi to her. Thank you, Helen. I'll put her channel down below. Okay, let me clear some of this off and then... Oh, and before I forget, because one track mind here, I also got ink from... Thank you for the ink to swap Christy Mama Hobbit. She's on Discord and Twitch and Instagram. I'll link her Instagram below. She gave me some washi. This is a really fun looking washi. And then even some of her dupes. So Magnolia Pen Company dupe Mirage. So I'm excited to try that one. And then Saltwater Taffy, Kuretake Old Rose. I have not tried Kuretake before. Let's see what else. Van Diemen's from November of 2023. And then I also got from her Waringle, I'm going to butcher that, Anubis. Rower and Klinger Verdura. Sorry, friends. And then Van Diemen's Jewel Beetle. I've not tried that one yet either. Let's see here. I think I also have Van Diemen's Firefly. And then I swapped inks with Scathingly Brilliant Nancy. I'm so glad to have finally met her. I've been watching her channel and talking with her on Simone's Discord. So we swapped inks. And so I got from her Waringle Enki, E-N-K-I. Ink Institute Viola. This is a Gourmet Pens exclusive. I'm excited to try that one. Waringle Value. Epitome Pen Company and Gourmet Pens Criminal. I don't think I've tried Epitome Pen Company's ink either. Waringle Half Moon with Dim Delight. Pilot Yamaguri. Tono and Lim Silent Night. I'm excited because I know I have a few friends who raved about this one. And then Ink Mazaru Pistachio. I'm excited because I have been wanting to try some more Ink Mazaru. I think I've only tried one actually. But the place where I was going to get them is it M. Lovewell has been out of stock for a while. So I've been able to. And the other thing I'm excited to try, and this is kind of ridiculous, but is Pilot Hana Akata. And I'm not sure where I put that sample, but I got a sample from here, Mama Hobbit. I have not tried Hana Akata yet. And I can't remember if I even asked her for this, but it was one of the ones I've been wanting to try. So maybe I did ask her for it, but if I didn't, that's a pretty cool mind rating. So let me clear this off because it's a mess, and then I can show you my pens. Okay, so I will go through the Papa J one first. I've made it kind of a yearly tradition for myself, and now my friends kind of laugh about it, and they're in on it too a little bit. But I like to run to his table. I had a roll later, but I rolled over to his table. This is the second year in a row I've done that, and I'm just going to keep going because it's now a fun tradition I do with myself and my friends. I had Mickey there, and Nancy was at the table picking out a pen. Christy was picking out a pen. It was just a good time, and I had several viewers came up to me and said hello. So if you said hi to me, I appreciate it. Please don't ever feel like you can't come up to me and say hi. I really love talking to people. So I was actually eyeing a few different pens, and so I went to each of my friends without them talking to each other. At least I don't think they did, like, overheard each other, but I had them pick between the two. So overwhelmingly, everybody picked this one. I mean, I don't blame them. That shimmer, I don't even know if this is doing the shimmer justice. And then there's a flower in the roll stop. And I just got this in a medium nib. I can't even, that pen is amazing. If you're not familiar with Papa J pens, I'm trying to think of what it's similar to. It's kind of similar to Leonardo Momento Magico. Size-wise. Let me see, I can't remember what the grips comparison are. Papa J's Luke's has a little bit more of a indented grip, which I prefer, but this is still one of my favorite pens. So I'm trying to think of what else it could be similar to. I'm just seeing what I have in my peripheral. Sorry, did not mean to bump you. Size-wise, yeah, about the size of a Twisby. Which means it's probably similar to a Lamy. A little bit taller than a Lamy. Yeah, about the same. I do like the section on Papa J's more than the Lamy. So if you don't like the Lamy grip, it's not anywhere. This is a lot more comfortable. So I have to figure out what ink to put in it. It's gonna have to be a shimmer. So any suggestions, let me know down below. And then the next one is, it's actually part of my birthday haul. So I celebrated my birthday this month, and I told my husband the only thing I really would like is for him to work with Bone Crusher Studios to get a pen made. My husband is not into fountain pens or stationery, so I kind of had to like walk him through what he has to do for a commission, but he pretty much did everything else. So I just had to go pick it up and then bring it home, and then I waited to unbox it, and now I get to share it with all of you. If you're wondering what this is, it is clay, because I tried to make clay earrings, and then I found out I can't really work with clay, so I'm going to have to figure out how to clean that up. So if you've worked with clay, know how to clean this up, let me know. For now, just, sorry. All right, so this is the Bone Crusher, I think the Alice model, because the Velma model is too long for my hand. Let me put it next to my other one. Yeah, so I think it's the Alice one. And he got me a medium nib. Oh, there it is. I was like, where's that? And then the resin is a weird, it's got a weird name to it. It was one they custom created for my husband based on the colors I had liked. So he kind of just told them what colors that I like, and they kind of went to town on it. Let me see if I can find my phone real quick to find the name of it. Okay, so they called it the IGAI3. I don't know what that stands for, but it reminds me of like a constellation name. And he had a really good experience with April doing the commission. I was going to show you the video, but I can input it here whenever this actually loads. They made it super easy for him, so thank you, April. My husband, that was his first time ordering a pen, so I'm sure you could tell, but awesome work. It's got mixtures of purple and green. Yeah, to me it reminds me of like Space Nebula. What do you think, friends? So now I have two space adjacent pens. I did not know what this was going to look like up until yesterday when I opened it. Well, on my birthday. You probably won't watch this. It won't be yesterday when you watch this, but I had no idea that's what he was picking. So I don't think that would have influenced this because I think these two go great together. For reference, for size, this is why I'm always gravitating towards Bone Crusher and Papa J, and even Skogs. These pens are very similar. It's because I like the size, I like the feel. The only real big difference is his Luke's. Can you guys see that on camera? Nib grip section. So, and when you get a pen from Bone Crusher, they package it in this 3D printed little case. So it comes nice and secure. And then I knew, because I didn't have this last year, Luke started printing a 3D printed case of his mugshot. And then there's a flower on the back. And then it just goes in there. So that's my pen haul, friends. I think I'm going to swatch the ink in a second video because this is already 30 minutes long. Let me know what your favorite pen is right now. What pen are you currently writing with the most? For me, it's probably my Bone Crusher pen or my Leonardo. And then additionally, did you go to the Chicago Pen Show? If you did, let me know what did you end up getting? Did you get the weekend pass or did you just go for a day? Let me know what you thought. I've heard the pen show is going to be at a different hotel next year. So hopefully that gets confirmed by the pen show organizers. I do plan on keeping an eye out. I thought they did a really fantastic job listening to feedback from last year. They actually had security guards there monitoring the flow of the intersections. I can't remember. I wish I would have got that guy's name. One of them was actually really helpful in clearing a path for myself and anybody else who had maybe an accessibility device or a stroller. So kudos to that one. And he was really friendly and talking to me about all my stuff that I was carrying around. So I can't remember your name, but thank you for being awesome and helpful. I did have to take it really slow, friends. I know some of you might be wondering how I did. It took me a long time to get through the show. I had to go really slow. I got really dizzy. It didn't help I started the day out with a migraine. And by the Atlas table, I just think looking at things on a shelf, it doesn't help my dysautonomia because I get unbalanced. So I was really struggling. And I had to ask for help a few times because I couldn't look at the shelves. And there's really no better way to do the ink shelves, so it's not any fault of Atlas's. And I went on Friday, and I had a few times in that little corner where it was pretty empty. I don't want to say like because there wasn't that many people there. It was just maybe I got there at a good time. But it was easy to get my rollator through. People were very cognizant and very polite. And I saw a lot more people at the show on Friday who had an accessibility device, which is awesome. Keep showing up, keep advocating for yourself. I'll keep advocating for myself and others. That's all we can do as consumers and as participants of the pen show. I've heard next year the elevators will be faster at the new hotel, so hopefully that is true. So yeah, I'm gonna clean this up and then I'm gonna swatch ink in a part 2. So keep your eye out for part 2 of the pen show haul ink edition. I have quite a bit, so I think I'm gonna swatch all of it together and then just break it up into chapters for inks that I bought and then inks that I was gifted. So friends, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day or night. I hope you give yourself grace. Know that you matter and that you're amazingly... Let me try that again. So friends, I just want you to know that you matter and that I care about each and every single one of you. I appreciate all of you that watch my videos. And I will see you next time on the part 2 of the Chicago Pen Show haul. Bye, friends.